What's up, my niggas? Welcome to Smoke to Think On. This is a live stream. Make sure to follow on Twitter and follow on Instagram, and that's how you'll know when these live streams are going to be happening, because usually speaking, at least it's supposed to be automatically tweeting out when I click fucking stream. If it's not, motherfuckers on Twitter, let me know. Anyway, I'm Rodney Dangermouth. This is Tahoe OG. I don't know what the fuck the automated YouTube settings has this labeled as, but needless to say, it's probably not right. Why? Well, because I'm a lazy stoner. Fuck it. I guess I'll change it. Didn't occur to me that I would need to, but I guess I do. Today we're talking about generations, though. Generations. Like, like they say there was the baby boomers, the hippies, the fucking beatnik kind of shit. Like, got these different generations, Genx'ers, things like that. And what do we got to call? Yeah, fucking quarterback. Nope, not talking about that today. He's kind of a douchebag. Fuck him, I'm not a fucking millennial. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about me being not a fucking millennial. And how awesome that is. Alright, I'll say change. Bam, alright. We didn't have any viewers, so what we're going to do is we're going to stop. Alright, looks like we are streaming. What's up, my niggas? Rodney Dangermouth here. This is Blunt Talk at SmokeToThinkOn.com. Make sure to follow on the Twitter and the Instagram for fun, exciting updates and short little videos out in the world. Anyway, I'm not a fucking millennial. That's what this video is about. It's about not being a fucking millennial. Now, TLDR, if you don't feel like watching, I already wrote a script and put it in the fucking description because I thought, you know what, this is something that needs to be written out too. But look, technically, we've been categorized incorrectly, people in my generation. So I want to clarify that. So I call 85 to 90 the Nintendo generation, right? Now, let me preface. The evolution of technology and language and the rate of those changes makes a significant difference on a generation, all right? So like I call 85 to 90 the Nintendo generation, defined by our love of the reset button. Like, you don't like your major? Reset, find a new one. You don't like your job? You just fucking hit the reset button. You quit that shit and find the new one. You don't like your spouse? Go ahead and hit the reset button, grab yourself a divorce lawyer, and get a fucking new one. Right? Generation Xers, they're the last to value that kind of resilience. You know what I mean? They stuck with the shitty positions to move up in the company and become the fucking, I'm the CEO and shit. They finished the degrees they didn't like because they already invested all this time and energy into it. They stay with shitty marriages for the kids. You know what I'm saying? My generation, the 85 to 90, we don't fucking do that. We do not fucking do any of that shit. We don't stick with it. We don't give a fuck about resilience or what you think. We're living for us and today. And if we don't like our situation, we just hit the fucking reset button. Now, I think the millennial generation should start in 1995 because 1990 to 95 can be categorized, in my opinion, as the Napster generation. These are the kids that became interested in music and given a shit about music about the same time that Napster became a thing and you could really get into it. Excuse me. And that's the generation of free information, the era of entitlement, entertainment entitlement. Everything intellectual should be free and easily acceptable because these kids were born into the internet at the time when the internet was at its peak in its Wild West days, when you could go on there and you could find literally anything at any time. Bam, right? They're the first generation to be able to go, there was, before the internet, like there was a time when we didn't just get to Google something that existed. What was that like, right? My generation, the 85 to 90, we remember that time. A generation is defined in history not by the years designated to it by like some standards committee and shit, but the attitude and value systems. Baby boomers gave way to hippies, which brought us Generation X, etc., etc. Now, then the world went from communicating and interacting on an analog level into a digital level. This is where I say the shift. You know, we have an analog age, and then now we are in the digital age. Now, things move faster digitally, including the rate of change in language and technology. And so the time between generations during an industrial revolution / renaissance, like the 90s, bringing us things like personalized computers to every home and into every school. And you have the dot-com age, the boom, the bust, right? This is kind of the revolution, and then the Renaissance. It's where we learn to balance the nature of the internet. It makes sense that in that time, the intervals between generations would also get shorter. So I say it again, I'm not a millennial. I'm not a Gen Napster. I'm a fucking Gen Nintendo, okay? My generation likes to hit the reset button. The generation just below me, like my little brother, right? His generation, he's not a fucking millennial, okay? He's a little bit older than the millennial kids. He remembers the time before the internet. Excuse me, not before the internet, but before the digital revolution. You know, and that's an important thing. The internet used to exist analogically. Okay, the internet is not the key in the digital revolution. It's what was digitized and created the revolution, because the internet originally was a very analog thing. You fucking made a phone call with your computer. It sent funny noises across to the phone line that another computer listened to and went, oh, I know what that means, and then gave you information. So that generation is separate from the millennials. The millennial generation doesn't have a fucking clue about anything pre-digital. They've been Snapchatting and fucking texting each other since they could look at a phone and their parents didn't yell at them to put it down. So I'm not a fucking millennial. Stop calling me a millennial. Stop calling the people my age millennials. If you were born in the era between 85 and fucking 90, you're a fucking Gen Nintendo. You like to hit the reset button and you don't give a shit what anybody else thinks. Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Twitter and Instagram and all that good shit. You're not told enough in this world that you're loved, so please listen when I say I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Take it easy, motherfuckers. Have a kick-ass day. Hey, I'm late for work. That's all right.